Was busy tweeting. The big fella Kendrick Perkins is up with us early this morning, and so is our man Shams with the very latest. Shams, for those who are just waking up and haven't heard, what is the latest on James Harden?
Greeny, this was stunning for the entire NBA. The Clippers and James Harden are now working together to find him a trade out of LA between now and Thursday's NBA trade deadline. The Cleveland Cavaliers have emerged as the most serious team so far in this conversation, and this all came about over the last few days. James Harden and the Clippers started conversations about his future. What does it look like next year? He has essentially a player option, but it's really a mutual option for next season. He's got a $13 million partial guarantee on $40 million, and the consensus was that there was uncertainty about whether James Harden would have a future, a longer-term future with the Clippers. And both sides sitting down and seeing, is there a much more beneficial path for the Clippers to see if they can get a young player moving forward, and James Harden to see, can I find a commitment from another team that potentially has a longer-term option for me, as well as the fact that he wants to compete for a championship. And this is a Clippers team that is vying right now for the play-in tournament. James Harden does have a no-trade clause de facto in his contract, so that plays a big role in all this as well.
So he'll have control over where he goes, if he goes. Perk, before we get specific, just big picture. You read the report, what's your first reaction?
The Clippers are clipping, meaning they just can't get right. I just don't understand it. Like, the first thing came to mind is what's going on in that organization that they can't keep their hands on a guy that's averaging 25 points and third in the league in assists, and he's not happy. They have been one of the hottest teams in the NBA, if not the hottest team over the last 2 months. So I don't get that point. But here's the thing. I would like to see James Harden on another team. I would like to see him on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I do think he elevates the Cavs into being legit title contenders, especially when you're talking about the bigs that they have, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. The one thing that is facts is that James Harden brings the best out of bigs. Guys like Clint Capella, Zubac has had career years playing alongside James Harden. I would love to see James Harden in the Cavs uniform.
So let's just get more specific there. He's 36 years old. We've seen the ups and the downs in the postseason. Do you think he's a difference maker? Is James Harden the difference between Cleveland making a run to the finals and not, Big Perk?
You damn right he is. You damn right he is. When you talk about his transition over the last 2 or 3 years to being a legit point guard, being one of the best facilitators in the game, setting guys up, Greeny, he is that. Guys thrive when they play alongside James Harden offensively. The Cavs have been one of the biggest disappointment this season, if not the biggest disappointment. So you add a James Harden who's going to come in and not only could get you 20 plus, but going to make guys around them better, especially guys like Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. You damn right he elevates the Cavs.
Cleveland right now is in the 5 spot in the Eastern Conference, but just 2 games behind the Knicks and Celtics, who are in the 2 spot. Speaking of the Knicks, I want you all to hear our buddy Stephen A. Smith. We know that he has been campaigning, beating the drum, doing everything he can to get Giannis onto his beloved Knicks. Yesterday, he did a 180.
Y'all remember how I was going off about I don't give a damn what it takes, go get Giannis? Remember that? Remember I was doing that? I have changed my mind. If I'm going to move off of what we have in place right now, it needs to be the closest thing to surefire that I can get. And with Giannis's health being an issue, I'm sorry. I'm concerned. I don't know if I do that right now.
Okay. So we've heard from Stephen A. Now let's hear from Shams. We are 2 days and a few hours away from the trade deadline. What is the latest on Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Greeny, my understanding is the Bucks are sifting through the aggressive offers that have come in. We've talked about the teams that have shown the most aggressive interest: the Knicks, the Warriors, the Timberwolves, as well as the Miami Heat. And these offers have ranged from all-star caliber players to draft picks. My understanding is the Warriors are a pick-heavy offer. The Heat and the Knicks are more players and picks, and the Timberwolves are more of a player-centric package. So Milwaukee has to make a decision between now and Thursday. Do they find a deal point with one of these four franchises? There another team waiting in the wings potentially as well. They've set a high bar in these conversations since last week. They've wanted a blue-chip young talent and or a surplus of draft picks. Right now, it looks like they're going to have to pick and choose which one they could want, or you wait till the offseason.
Heat, Timberwolves, Knicks, Warriors. Which team, Big Perk, is Giannis away from winning the championship?
Well, I'll tell you this. I agree with Stephen A. If I'm the Knicks, I'm not touching Giannis right now. I love their roster. I love what they have. It doesn't make sense to give up that many pieces. Let me say that first. But if I'm the Timberwolves, I make that move. And especially when you talk about pairing up Giannis and Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards right now is having a career year. Anthony Edwards has been to back-to-back Western Conference Finals. Anthony Edwards need a Giannis to get him over the hump, especially when you're talking about a tough Western Conference. So if I'm Minnesota, yes, I'm putting the package together because the team that they have right now that just lost to the Memphis Grizzlies last night without Ja Morant actually needs some type of life, and Giannis Antetokounmpo is that life. And here's the most important thing, Greeny. I don't want everybody to miss out on this. Anthony Edwards is in Minnesota. Anthony Edwards, I believe, in what the next 2 years, Shams, is going to be coming up for a contract extension, and we're going to be having conversations should Anthony Edwards stay in Minnesota. If you're trying to secure your young superstar for the long haul, damn it, you go out and you make that move right now if you're the Timberwolves.
All right, Shams, outstanding. We got news from Shams at the bottom of the hour. We got news from Shefty at the top of the hour. We got a busy morning.
This is picking up speed. Cavs and Clippers possibly discussing a Harden-Garland swap. According to Brett Siegel, Harden and LA have actually been discussing a split for weeks now, which is kind of crazy, but Kawhi was surprised when he found out that Harden wanted that trade. They are 3.5 games back of the Warriors for the 8 seed. Cavs are sitting in the 5 spot out in the East. You woke up, there's a lot of talk about this. Lou makes fun of me, but I listen to NBA radio all day long. People aren't loving it necessarily, Shump. So I'm wondering, how are you feeling when you see these names possibly being swapped? How do you feel?
Don't like it.
Okay.
I think that, James has had difficulty in the playoffs. You're trying to improve yourself in the playoffs, and now you're going to get a James Harden that is not what when we thought he was going to win, he wasn't able to do it, and now you want him to do it as he's years older, you know what I'm saying, and coming out of a frustrating situation. Well, they've been playing well now, but in the early start of this season, frustrating situation, losing Chris Paul, all these different shifts happening, it's like we're not going to throw him in Cleveland and then great things are going to happen. I think that the DG and Donovan Mitchell backcourt is a great backcourt.
Sure.
When you start talking about adding a Schroeder to the mix, I think Schroeder is a proven winner. Whether we think about it a lot or not, he won over the water. He's able to be on a different mix of teams. He knows how to be a professional. He knows what to do. We can have a Dennis Schroeder give you 12 to 15 and sometimes close games for you depending on Donovan Mitchell being hot or somebody else being hot. I just don't know if James Harden coming to the mix and being a ball-dominant basketball player helps you out a ton.
This one's, first of all, we've now spoken of DG possibly being moved the last couple of seasons. I will say this, not in my wildest dreams did I think James Harden was going to be the other part of this conversation. So what are we doing here? Does this work for you?
I agree with Sean.
Fast.
And, this isn't more so about, James for me. It's more so about Donovan Mitchell as far as, his growth, his development, him being that franchise cornerstone, putting him in the best situation to succeed and putting him in the best situation to be the best version of himself. And adding James to that mix at this stage of both of their careers, it just doesn't really add up and make sense in anything I just, said as far as those matching up. So I'm not a fan of the move, the potential move. And it doesn't really make sense long term, present day, anything. It just, the timelines don't match up. Nothing makes sense in this scenario. So I'm not a fan of it. I do like the additions of Dennis Schroeder and things like that. I agree with Sean.
Who could be moved again? I feel like this is going to be weird if they start doing all this. Are they going to move him now?
Well, James is next year will be the last year of his deal.
Right.
Last year of his contract. So that's possibly something to look at, that you have some flexibility to move around after that. And it also looks like a one-sided deal when it comes to the Clippers. This looks like a force out for James. You know, I think they've been dealing with this quietly behind closed doors for a couple of weeks, and now that we've gotten, you know, to the end of this deadline, things are starting to come out in the public. Now we're starting to see that now we're paying attention to him being away from the team and not being there. And so these things are getting louder and louder. And so for me, this looks like a lateral move for both teams. Like, we don't like it for the Clippers. We don't like, because that's going to put them against the tax and what they want to do and having flexibility in 2027. I think the same thing for Cleveland as well when we start talking about the basketball side of it with Donovan Mitchell and where they're trying to go and adding an Asian superstar to that mix. And then, like Sham just mentioned, you just went and got a Schroeder. You went and got another ball handler, somebody that can alleviate some of the pressure off of Donovan Mitchell. So for both sides, I don't understand it completely, but this looks like a deal that has a lot to do with money and flexibility.
Mm-hmm. Basketball-wise, Lou, what does this look like with Harden and Donovan Mitchell together?
Like I said, I don't know. I don't know at this point.
You know.
Listen, both guys need the basketball in their hands to be successful.
Right.
That's no secret. I think that's why we're even having this conversation about Donovan Mitchell and Garland. All three guys involved in this conversation have to have the basketball. They all three are ball-dominant guys. If one of them can play off the ball, it's going to be Garland. I like to see him off the ball. You like to see Donovan Mitchell off the ball as well. That's why you bring in a Schroeder. That's why you even bring in Alonzo Ball in the summer. Some guys that can alleviate some of that pressure and let him play some too and be off of the basketball. And so at this point, I don't know what it means. I know James has been next to Kawhi Leonard for a number of years now, and he's kind of been a facilitator. He's kind of taken a back seat to him and picking his spots when to be aggressive. But, you know, when you go to a new market, you want to prove that you're still you. And so I feel like if you add James Harden to a Cleveland Cavaliers, he's going to be the best version of James Harden that he can possibly be, and that might be disruptive to Donovan Mitchell. So I don't know what to make of all of this.
It's very loud trade rumor as far as rumors go, and 48, 30, I don't know how many hours we're away from this thing. Donovan Mitchell's having the best scoring year of his career, and that's the other part of this, Boogie, because we spent so much time. I thought we'd all finally mentally gotten to a place where we're like, you know what, Donovan Mitchell and DG, we kind of like that. We like the way, finally we got to that point, and now we're going to rip that up, or we're going to bring just the collective talking head group. That's for Donovan Mitchell. If you're Donovan Mitchell, are you waking up to this thinking, I don't know if I like this or not?
If I'm Donovan Mitchell, I am feeling that way. Like I said, on paper, it doesn't make sense. If you don't like the situation of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, then bringing in James Harden is basically creating the same type of situation. It's two ball-dominant type of guards. And also, at the same time, they're not the best defensively together. So it's more so the same problem. So if I am Donovan Mitchell, I'm not necessarily happy about the potential move. As far as making moves, I do like the aggressiveness of the Cavaliers and trying to improve. They're not having the year that they would have liked to have or expected to have, but I don't think this is necessarily the right move for them moving forward. So
Let's talk Cleveland. If you're Harden, are you stoked about the idea of going and playing Cleveland, Sean?
I mean, if you're James Harden, anytime you could be a part of a playoff team, you're happy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think that James is going to do some of his best work in the playoffs where you're now in a series. It's about adjustments. You've been here before, and you have to do this. We haven't seen James, make the steps that we want him to make as far as getting into the championship and doing his thing ever since leaving from OKC. We thought we'd finally see it. And, he hasn't been able to get over the hump. But his leadership alone of coming onto a team and being able to explain to the young guys that haven't been there what they need to go through, what they need to do, the mistakes that he's made. I mean, he's got some positives on paper. I'm not saying he's worthless. I'm just saying when you pair him next to Donovan Mitchell, do you really think Donovan Mitchell is going to spread his wings bigger? You got Jalen Tyson saying it's his city now. And now you just gonna switch everything up on him.
And you even got Tyson playing well at that position.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand the and Boogie just pointed out a great point. Y'all, the times that the Cavs have been successful in previous years, hung the hat on the defensive end. when you bring James, you're not
That's not happening.
not getting defense. So you already lost. You traded Hunter. Yeah, Hunter, DeAndre Hunter. You already traded him, and he was one of your better defenders. He's one of your two-way guys, one of your blue-collar guys. And now you bring in James Harden. It's like your defense takes a hit, but your defense is what needed to improve. I think that's what has knocked them off the tracks. So it's like your defense got to improve. You thought you were bringing Lonzo Ball to alleviate some of that ball handling, to make it less ball dominant, but somebody that still could facilitate, get guys in the right spot. He just hasn't been as healthy as they want him to be.
Right.
He hasn't shot the ball particularly well. So it's like Lonzo Ball is the guy that got kind of pushed to the side a little bit, and that's why you bring Schroeder in. I don't see the value that James Harden brings. If you're going to do that, you might as well trade Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying, if you want something good, you want to get good.
It's just crazy to me. This is not what I think people had envisioned when they thought Cavs need to make maybe a move or two. This is not what I thought we'd be talking about.
At all.
From the Clippers side, and by the way, none of this has happened yet. It's just a very, very loud trade rumor that exists in the moment. From the Clippers side, Lou, take me through. Should they do this? What is their motivation?
Well, I know they're trying to hold their cards to 2027. It's a lot of guys that's going